they've contacted the authorities to allow the bridge to open. It does get frustrating for cars and traffic, having to wait, queues for traffic and often build up, and Tower Bridge often gets stuck, which is very annoying. It was stuck a couple of weeks ago for a good 45 minutes. Luckily I wasn't here, I was just up here, just pointing it out. Now, in the old days, when the Tower Bridge opened, they didn't have traffic lights and they didn't have a metal fence either. What they used to do is have a man stand there with a bell. And if he rang his bell, it meant traffic needed to stop so that the bridge could open. And that's all they did. What could possibly go wrong? So, mostly, here's the thing, that method worked most of the time, but there were some notable incidents where things didn't quite go to plan on Tower Bridge. Now, I haven't got time to talk to you about them all, but arguably the most famous Tower Bridge story is a story of a man called Albert Gunter. Now, in 1952, Albert was a bus driver and he drove the 78 bus route. In fact, the 78 is still a bus route that goes over Tower Bridge to this day. But one afternoon, he was driving the bus from the south side and he was about to cross to the north, as he did multiple times a day. He was about to cross at the exact same moment. A boat, probably not too dissimilar to the one you can see going under right now, was about to come through. But I don't know what the watchman on duty that day was playing at. He must have been distracted. He was on TikTok or Instagram Reels, or whatever they had in those days. But the point is, he did not alert Albert on the 78 bus. And by the time Albert realised Tower Bridge was opening, where do you think he was? He was on the bridge itself. So, you can only imagine how quickly Albert would have needed to have made a very important decision in such a situation. Now, the rational decision is probably you want to reverse backwards. Get safely, right? Yeah? Albert had a different idea. I don't know if you've all seen that film Speed. Yeah, he did that. And bear in mind as well, there were passengers on the bus. It was that. They had no idea. There was no TFL service updates either. They had no idea what was going on. So, Albert drove onto the bridge and the bridge began to open. Albert realised what was happening and in a very quick decision, he put his foot down on the pedal. Everyone on the bus held on for dear life, as you would expect. The gap got wider and wider and the 78 bus made it safely across to the other side. Yeah, it's a completely true story. Now, what is extraordinary about the Albert Gunter story is not a single person suffered any major injury, not one. What is perhaps the most extraordinary thing about it, though, is Albert kept his job afterwards. Can you imagine if he did that today? Like, you just saw Tower Bridge opening one. Imagine a bus going over that. Imagine what happened to that bus driver. Sued a company, health and safety, disciplinary, probably go to prison for that. He didn't just keep his job, though. He was rewarded for bravery and quick thinking. And here's the thing, if you go online, I urge you guys to do this when you get home. Go onto YouTube, type in Albert Gunter interview, Tower Bridge, and there's an interview from 1952 conducted by the BBC where he's given his grand prize. And what is he given? He's given £10. Which isn't much to us, but 1950, when inflation, that would have been worth a couple